Yo, what is up guys and welcome to another Wild Rift video, and in today's video we have Fiora in the jungle. And I have an incredible player that's playing Fiora in the jungle, an ex-pro in Wild Rift, and his name is Trust. He's an incredible player. He plays everything really, so I'm really excited to show you guys yet another pro player. You remember the Akali video? That was Lonely Kid. Now I got you guys a different player. So there's timestamps in the description to skip to the gameplay immediately. I'm now going to explain how to build Fiora. And this part is for me. It's not like he suggested me this build, but I'm going to explain to you guys how to build Fiora in the jungle. So Fiora jungle and Baron lane are different builds. Today I'm going to talk about jungle build. So your first item depends. But generally, I would say you want to go for Eternity Force, because Eternity Force allows you to clear jungle faster than a Divine Sunderer. Because Divine Sunderer is better against like tanky enemies, but if you're actually clearing our jungle, Eternity Force is going to be faster. Again, if the enemy is very tanky, of course, do go for the Divine Sunderer, but generally, you'll want to go Eternity Force. The other reason why, like 90% of the times you want to go Eternity Force is because when you're ganking mid lane and top lane, sorry, mid lane and dragon lane, generally these are going to be squishy enemies, right? Because mid lane is going to be a squishy enemy, and the dragon lane is going to be an ADC, and then either an enchanter support or a tanky support. But my point is, you're very likely going to be engaging in fights against squishy enemies. That's why you really want to try to go for the Trinity Force, unless the enemy is like really full tank, right? For the boots, it's completely situational. Glutinous Greaves, Mercury Threads, Plated Silcaps, whatever you feel like you need. And here it becomes situational. If you want to carry the game, you go for Bladed Rune King. However, make sure you have a tank in your team if you go for Bladed Rune King's second item. If you don't have any tanks in your team, don't go for it, because your playstyle is going to change when you go for Bladed Rune King. You're going to be more of like a secondary engager, because you're not going to be very tanky. You know, you're full damage. You're not tanky. You're just there to take the enemies down. Otherwise, you can go for Starrick's Cage, a much safer option, which also gives you good damage. Doesn't allow you to do as much damage as the Bladed Rune King, of course, but it's good. It gives you damage, but it gives you more sustainability. It makes you much tankier. The enemy is full AD. You can get Death Dance second or third. If they are full AD, you have to get it second or third, because it's always going to be worth it. Guardian Angel is also like, here it just depends. Let's say you've got a Bladed Rune King and Starrick's Cage. Third item, do you go first Guardian Angel or Death Dance? They're both armor items, right? Let me tell you. If you feel like you can kill an enemy before dying, you go for Death Stance. If you feel like you need to be bait for your team, you go for Guardian Angel. What I mean with that is, if the enemy really has big damage and you just want to go in, die, let the enemies use their abilities on you, and then your team follows up and kills the enemy, that's when you go for the Guardian Angel. Essentially, selfish play would be the Death Stance. Team play would be a Guardian Angel. That is basically the difference between the two. So like, if your team is doing very well in the game, you know, your Lucian is doing very well in the Dragon lane, you can choose to go for a Guardian Angel as your fourth item to then allow your Lucian to carry team fights more easily. Because you're taking all those abilities on you, and then you're going to come back alive, right? You're going to come back alive. That's the point. With a Death Dance, you're probably going to die anyways. But the thing about the Death Dance is, it allows you to get kills yourself more easily. You see what I'm saying? So that is how you build Fiora jungle. In the jungle, you always go Conqueror. And I recommend Brutal. I mean, you can go for Hunt of Vampirism. And in the jungle, Hunt of Vampirism is actually definitely good, because you can get kills all over the map because you're ganking. Triumph is meh. I don't really like Triumph in the jungle. Brutal is just great. Like, early on, you'll get so much bonus damage with the Brutal. And combined with Fiora's early game power, you'll be a really formidable threat very early on in the game. Here you go for Hunter Titan, because, you know, again, you are ganking all over the place, so you're going to get kills. And then here you go for Pathfinder, because you want to be moving around very fast. For the spells, of course, you go Flash and Smite. So that is it about the game. That is it about the build. Let's now get into the gameplay. Let me do this correctly real quick. If I take this out, does it work? No, so I have to turn this off. There we go. So let's get into the gameplay. Yeah, this is the first time making a video with Trusted's gameplay, and this is my first time watching his gameplay, right? I have obviously seen how these guys play the game. You know, I've literally casted their games. I need to make the screen fit a bit better. Wait 1 second, guys. I need to make the screen fit a bit better. Everyone has a different aspect ratio. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's perfect. Alright, so the first thing I'm noticing about this player is a thing that I actually talked about during my coaching sessions a lot, is look at him. He's constantly looking around. He's 100% aware of his surroundings. I would love to see this when, one of the players I was coaching would do this. Look at this, because look at this. This is exactly why I tell people that I coach to be aware of your surroundings. Because now I'm pretty sure he's going to kill the Riven. Now, this type of gank is something that you would never do if you're just a random player. You would never do this unless you have good surroundings. There you go. He got 350 gold because of that. And he froze the wave really, really well, so the enemy Riven is going to lose even more farm. This right here, this is a high elo play. The reason that I'm saying that this is a high elo play is because it's a high elo macro play. Because in lower elos, people tend to just be narrow-minded in their jungle. They'll just clear the jungle and whatever, right? Like everyone is on their own. Oh, Shen died. It's his own fault. I don't care. That is what a lot of junglers think. But this is what a really good jungler thinks. You can clearly see in the very beginning of the jungle, he was already looking around all the time. All the time. He's probably going to kill that kill, right? The kill thought he could survive by smiting the blue buff. That's hilarious. So, what was I saying? You can clearly see the different kind of playstyle because he's so aware. He skipped this complete blue jungle. He's actually invading now. Your question is, why is he invading? Because the enemy jungler is a kill. All of these things are important. Now he's going to smite the blue buff and the Riven cannot do anything. Kill is useless, guys. Like, look at this. It feels right now that Fiora is broken. But the reason that it's working so well right now is because he's just playing it perfectly right now. Yeah, exactly. Trinity Force. That's what I would have expected. So, he's playing it very well. The gank was really good. And then the invade worked. Normally, this invade doesn't really work that well. You know, it can work if your mid laner and a bot laner rotate. But because the enemy had a kill essentially only counts like half a champion in the early game. Because it's so useless. No range, nothing. And Fiora is really strong in the early game. That's why you can see him go for very, very high aggression. Should be a double kill here, right? Actually, at least one kill. What is the kill? What is the kill doing, by the way? Like, you see, this is high elo gameplay, by the way. But the kill was completely trolling. Like, did the kill really think he could kill Fiora right here? I genuinely wanna understand what the hell that kill was thinking. He has a Trinity Force 3 minutes into the game, by the way. By the way, guys, if you're enjoying this video, make sure you give it a like. Let me know in the comments what you think about this video. And let me know honestly, like, I really want to hear what you guys think about these types of content. You know, for me to know, but also for me to pass along to the, to the players of these games. So they also know, whether it's good or not good. Just let me know what you guys think about it. Oh. Okay, yeah. Zoe got the cannon. I think he could have caught up. Because maybe the Zoe wouldn't have killed the cannon. I think he could have caught up. But it seemed like he relied on that Zoe to finish off. Like the minions. He relied on the minions to finish off the enemy cannon. It's pretty funny. He was on the top side of the map. He could try to look for a gank on Riven here as well. Even though it's a 1v1, because he has his ultimate and a sweeper, Riven is likely going to be pushing the turret. Because, I don't know, people are just quite dumb in Wild Rift right now. So it should, like, exactly, look at this. Riven is just pushing the turret thinking she's safe. And he can just ult her. It's quite a late ult. He's actually not going for her. He didn't go for her because she ulted. But I actually feel like he could have killed her anyways. Like, because, yeah, smite. Yeah, exactly. I actually think he could have killed her before. But it seemed like he didn't want to take the risk by fighting her with her ultimate active. That's what I think it was what happened. But I do think he could have killed her before anyways. Yeah. He has Demolish as well, which I like a lot. It fits his playstyle really, really well because he's ganking very, very aggressively. So when you're ganking like that, you can utilize the Demolish really, really well because you're constantly going to be attacking turrets. It's true that in this game he's only used it once up until now, but that's because he wanted to invade. So that was fine. It was fine. He invaded for it instead of, proccing the Demolish on the turret. Now this, he needs to buy some time. He's going in very, very early. But he is getting the kill on the Riven. The reason that I said that, buying time would be good is because his team was coming. But he's so strong right now that he didn't even need to buy time. He just killed them all off. Yeah, Herald in mid lane, take the dragon as well. They're just dominating this game right now. He blocked the dragon CC, that's funny. He's actually looking at his allies by clicking on these icons here, I think. Yeah, he's clicking on these icons, I think. And that's the way he's constantly locking on his allies. That's actually pretty smart. I always drag my finger on the map. It seems like sometimes he clicks on his allies. I'm really not sure because he's doing it very, very accurately. He has to be careful of the Pike ult. I wonder. Invading blue is really risky now because he's very, very low. Yeah, exactly. He's looking for aggressive plays, even though he's very low and low on mana. I don't think he should be able to jump into this. Oh, that's a Shen actually. I still don't think he can go. Oh, the block was beautiful, but exactly, you can't really go if you're this low. He unfortunately got punished for it and gave away a 550 gold bounty to the enemies right there. He was way too low and didn't have enough mana to engage on that fight. And he had a lot of gold in his pocket, so he got punished for it by the enemy cannon. And having the cannon get the bounty is probably the worst one of the enemies that could get it, because the cannon is a 1v9 type of champion that can just kill everyone in the later stages of the game. Maybe he could catch up to them and kill them here. Because all of them are diving the turret. He could maybe catch up because he has a flash and the sweeper. Exactly. You use a sweeper so the enemy doesn't know you're coming. And he could flash combo. Yeah, he just flashes to him. You could flash combo with your first ability. He just flashes, smites, and gets the kill free. That's very, very nice. He does have a demolish, but it's not really worth waiting for your wave right here. So he's probably just going to go to his jungle, take his jungle right here. So it seems like he found a pretty good balance between being aggressive and farming. Because right there, you could have decided, or he could have decided to try and kill Cannon in the mid lane. But he realized that, you know, it's not worth to go for it. Because Cannon is probably not going to be stupid enough to push the turret. So instead, he just went for his jungle. And as you can see, that was the right play. Because Cannon did indeed go back. So it's really up to finding that balance when you play the game of Wild Rift, right? Like right here, yet again, the Riven is really not a smart player, so he's abusing it. That's another thing that I like to say in my videos is abuse the weak player of the enemies. It sounds like a very sad thing, but it's a strategy that I always do. This is a thing that a lot of high elo players will tell you not to do, by the way. Let me explain. A lot of players may give you as an advice of like, if you've killed an enemy like 4 times already, focus on the other lanes. You know, who cares? Focus on the other lanes. I always say no. Kill that enemy 4 more times. Now you may be asking, what the hell am I talking about? Like, the enemy doesn't have a big bounty. Why would I say that? I mean, this cannon gave up here because he's dead anyways. But let me tell you the philosophy that I have behind that. First of all, obviously, you know, you're getting your ally in that lane super ahead. But most importantly, in my opinion, is you're making the enemy mad. It sounds funny, but it works. Let me explain. If you kill this Riven 7 times in a row in her lane, she's gonna be hella mad. She's gonna be hella mad. Not only she, not only her, her team is gonna be mad as well. Everyone is just gonna be mad at each other in their teams because she died so often. They're gonna start blaming her. She's gonna start blaming the jungle. You know, everyone is gonna start blaming Matchmaker. They're all gonna start blaming each other, which means not only she's gonna play worse, all of them are gonna play worse because they're all tilted. You can actually get them tilted by killing the same enemy multiple times in a row. And the reason that I'm saying that is because often that same enemy is gonna be a very bad player. Look at this Riven as an example, right? She's overextending constantly. So instead of leaving her to try and gank the cannon, you can constantly gank that Riven and keep killing her over and over and over again. Now the Riven is actually doing a smart move here. She realized she's useless, so she's split pushing on the top side. That is definitely the best thing Riven can do. Like, if you're in a situation in a game where you're like 0-4, 0-5, and you just don't know what to do, as a Baron laner, by the way, you just need to split push. Try to get objectives. Try to steal enemy jungle. Just try to be annoying. Try to stick turrets. Try to take enemy farm. That's what you need to do. Don't try to fight. Don't try to be a hero and fight. If you're like 0-5 as an ADC, you just need to farm. It's different. If you're 0-5 as a support, no one cares anyways because you're support anyways. You can just tell your teammates, yeah, I took those 5 for the team. You know, if I hadn't died 5 times, you guys would have died 5 times. And then as the mid lane is 0-5, it's a bit of a problem, of course, but just like the ADC, you just need to farm. And if you're 0-5 as a jungler, it's your fault. I mean, you shouldn't be 0-5 as a jungler. If you're 0-5 as a jungler, try to farm as well. Obviously, it depends on the type of jungler you have as well. If you have Lee Sin, you still need to try to look for fights because, of course, the later you go, the worse it gets for you. Because even if you're like, there are certain champions in the game, even if you're low on gold, they're still strong, like Lee Sin, because Lee Sin is an invaluable ultimate that can push enemies back into your team, right? And your team can kill them off then. Varus is another example. Your ultimate is very, very valuable. So there are certain champions in the game, or Garen. Garen is probably the perfect example. Even if you're insanely behind, you can still join team fights. And all you have to do is ult an enemy that is at a low amount of HP, because your ultimate deals true damage. And it has a lot of flat damage. So you have to understand what your champion does, how strong your champion is before you do that. That was beautiful. Not sure why he didn't. Well, actually, he didn't ult the kill because kill would just block it with her ult. That's why he didn't ult. I don't really understand why he flashes before he uses first ability. Because it's much easier and faster to use first ability flash, because the enemies will basically never see that coming. But what works for him, right? Because like with Fiora, you can flash combo with your first ability. So the enemies literally have zero chance to respond to it. Ooh, is he gonna go for the Spirit Visage? The new Spirit Visage on Fiora? Because they changed it. Yeah, actually it doesn't affect Fiora because it increases barriers too now. But Fiora doesn't have any barriers. But he has a lot of healing. He has Bladed Rune King. He has his ultimate. He has a Death's Dance as well. So he has insane amount of healing. So that's why Spirit Visage makes a lot of sense this game. And of course, he needs magic resist against the cannon. So, you know, Spirit Visage definitely makes sense. Let's see what he does here. So the Baron is spawning. What is he gonna do here? Let me guess. Take the blue buff and fight? He shouldn't split push here, because two of his teammates died and the enemies are just gonna take the Baron. He could try to catch off someone because he's playing Fiora. If it's like a target that can't run away, he could try to catch that target. Like kill, exactly. She still has her ult? Exactly, catch off an enemy because you're Fiora. That's the beauty of playing Fiora. You can catch off enemies so easily. This should be a winnable fight. This should be a winnable fight. Yeah, exactly. They cannot kill Fiora like this. Like, they need all of their teammates to kill Fiora. And they need a good cannon ultimate too. Now it's a bit dangerous. Exactly. This cannon is actually not a bad player. I can clearly tell the enemy cannon is not a bad player because he was waiting for Fiora to use a riposte. Oh, he blocked Pike's ulti right there. Beautiful. But the cannon was waiting for Trust to use his ultimate. To use his riposte, which is the second ability, before going all in. Then he used Protobelt, ultimate, everything. So that cannon is a pretty smart player. Should be a free Baron right here. He actually doesn't have Smite. I mean, before they take the Baron down, the Smite is going to be back up. And because he has a Lulu, he could try to take it, but his team is actually losing the fight. Why did Shen ult Kai'Sa? Are you kidding me? If Shen ulted Fiora right there, Fiora could have just killed all of them. Yeah, he just does it like that, the flash combo. Interesting. I wonder why. Maybe he just... Because it can be a bit inconsistent to do first ability flash. Maybe he just does it for more consistency. Are they really just gonna end the game? They can just end the game here. Yeah, they can just end the game here. He can use stasis. And he's gonna kill the Pike and they're gonna end the game. Wow. Really nice gameplay right there. Especially the macro gameplay. I really like the macro gameplay from Trust in this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let's take a look if he shows the damage and all of that. Wait, I need to drop this camera a bit. There we go. Let's see if he shows how much damage everyone did. Better than 99.5% of Fiora players, by the way. There we go. 26.5 thousand damage. That's a lot of damage. So yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Again, let me know your thoughts on the video. Let me know your thoughts on the video, and I will see you all in the next Wild Rift video. Bye bye.